Chuck with Lake to Lake. Hey, I'm going to give you an update on my lithium battery dilemma. First of all, let me say I bought the coach, a Grand Design coach, from Lifestyle RV in the Kansas City area. The battery turned out to be bad. I had an extended warranty. I took it in thinking it would be an over-the-counter exchange. It wasn't. They had to send that back to the battery vendor and make sure it was bad, blah, blah, blah. So, a few months go by, weeks go by. I try and keep in contact with them. They acknowledge they have it. They haven't heard back from the vendor. A few more weeks go by, and I keep calling, I keep pestering. Winter sets in, lock up the unit, go park it under cover, and fall rolls around, and I call them up, and guess what? They're kind of, yeah, we see something here. Well, I really don't know what the status of that battery is. So I go through their service department 3 or 4 more times, and I'm getting ready for spring. I want to go camping. So I call them up, and I want to talk to the service manager. I talk to the service manager, and he says, nothing I can do about it. I don't see it in the paperwork. By now, Lifestyle RV has changed hands. It's no longer Lifestyle RV. It's no longer owned by the owner. Owned by a completely different group of people. And they don't have paperwork. They don't have paperwork in their system. They're not going to honor the warranty. Now, when they ask around, they say, yeah, we remember something about that. They'd gone through so many people. They'd gone through service writers, service admins, service workers, just, they just lost it. They did not give me a good paperwork trail. I had handwritten. They don't accept that anymore. That's from the other company. It's not in their system. We can't do anything about it. So now the big dilemma is, how much do I fight it? And in reality, it's not a lot of money now. I mean, it's $700 or $800. I know that sounds like a lot of money, and actually it is a lot of money. But by the time I do 4 hours of drive time, hour arguing with them, and if they're not going to take care of it, all it's going to do is it's going to cost me time and money. It's going to cost me $30-$40 worth of fuel. It's going to be, all I'm going to do is I'm going to get mad. I'm going to get frustrated. And at some point in time, you give up. You know what? They won. The dealer won. From the service side of a perspective, the dealer won. That upsets me. So now I did open tickets up with Grand Design. Grand Design says, it's an aftermarket product. We don't support those. It was not installed at the factory. And they'll put a note that they had dissatisfied customer with the service of the dealer. So now let's get back to my situation. So in real life, here was my problems. They sold me a lithium battery. They did not tell me that the converter, the converter would not fully charge my lithium battery. It was set up for an AGM battery. And so my battery, number one, never ever got fully charged because I did not have the proper battery charger on the coach. They came with it from Grand Design. Okay? Dealer should have known that. Dealer should have let me know that. Dealer should have offered me an upgrade. They didn't. Second of all, the battery monitor inside the RV that came with the coach, it's not capable of giving me it's not capable of telling me what the charge of lithium battery is. It always said full charge, even when it wasn't. It would still say it was fully charged. I couldn't get my slide in or out. I couldn't get my trailer tongue hitch to go up and down. None of that worked. I'd plug it into shore power and it started working. Well, you know why it was working? It was running off the converter, not off the battery. So that's shame on them, number two. Number three, it did come with a solar panel and charge controller. They never ever configured that for a lithium battery. They just left it the way it was. So now I got three things going against me. Number one, I can't fully charge the lithium battery. Number two, the battery monitoring in the system is not configured, or is not configurable. I don't know which it is for lithium battery. And three, my solar charger won't charge my lithium battery fully. So those three things, at the time, I would gladly have paid additional money to get those things fixed. I would have paid more money for an upgraded converter to charge my battery full. And I would have said, hey, let's put it, and if they would have said, hey, this battery monitor's not right, I would have said, that doesn't seem right, but put me in one that is correct. I would have paid for it. I would have been happy to pay for it. The other thing I've come to find out of recent time, the wiring inside most coaches in the model year I bought, is the wiring's not big enough to charge a lithium battery, because the lithium battery will suck up all the electricity it'll send you, and the wiring is not big enough to do that. So number one, so then you got to get your wiring replaced. So you got to get a new converter, new wiring, and then the other thing that gripes me a little bit is I really wanted the lithium battery so I could go out on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, do some boondocking, and keep my refrigerator cold, and run the basic things. My lights, I'm not talking about air conditioning, just keep my refrigerator going. Maybe if it gets cold, keep the furnace going. Well, it turns out a 100 amp hour lithium battery won't do that over the weekend either. They should have told me that. I would have paid extra money for a 300 amp hour, 400 amp hour system and charger. I would have paid it at the time, but they did not offer that to me, and they did not explain that to me. So the real question comes now of, in the future, you as a consumer, you need to almost know more than the dealer does about what you want, what upgrades you want, what the impacts are, what the technical specs are. Is it, I want to do this, is what you're selling me going to do this, or is it going to do something that? Am I buying part of a system, or am I buying a complete system? You need to make sure you understand all that before you go and say, I want a lithium battery so I can go boondocking. Well, in my case, that wasn't. And shame on the dealer. And this was all on the service department side. The sales department side was great. Whatever you want, they'll take care of. I mean, the salesman was good, the finance manager was good, the sales manager was good, because they all make their money by selling units. The service guys, they service them. They get charged per hour, and every hour your coach is in there, it's ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. They don't care. They're not selling anything, and they really don't care if you're happy or not. They just care that they did what you asked for and got you down the road. If it breaks 2 weeks later, they don't care. If it comes back in, they get the ka-ching, 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 the hourly rate. So the bottom line is, the dealer let me down. My warranty that I had was worthless. They prolonged it so long. The dealers changed hands. The paperwork didn't make it. The people changed hands. None of the people that in the service side are there from when I purchased it or when I took it in for warranty work. And shame on the dealer. You know, they should have made that right. If they would have said, hey, you're better off taking this battery back to the vendor yourself, the manufacturer, I would have done that if they would have told me. And you know what? If I'd done that, I would have been a little upset, but I would not be as sad as I am now, and I wouldn't be doing a YouTube video saying how poor the service department was. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap it up. The bottom line is, when you go in to buy something and you want to buy something additional added onto your RV, to your coach, you need to make sure that you tell them what you want and what you want to do. In this case, they sold me a lithium battery. I wanted a lithium battery so I could boondock for 3 days. That's not what I got. I got a lithium battery, but I didn't get the complete package. I got a third of what I needed. I didn't get the right charger, but I didn't know that. If I had known that, it would have been a completely different scenario. And I beg you, find out, research the internet, YouTube, whatever. You can find out the information you want. You can be educated, and you can talk to them. The dealer should know more than you, but that doesn't mean that you can't tell them exactly what you want and what you think you need, and they can they can supply what's needed. So one of the sites that I use was Explorus.life. They're a very good resource for solar, batteries, anything electrical on your RV. I'll put a link to that. That's who I've used to add additional power to my battery bank, my lithium battery bank. They're good people. I've ordered the parts for them, and I followed their YouTube videos on how to install them. Great resource. So anyway, research. That's one thing I have to say. And make sure you're crystal clear with your RV dealer of what you're wanting to do, and let them provide a solution and see if that's the solution that you came up with. So anyway, we'll wrap it up. Well, thanks again for watching. If you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up. Put down in the comments, good, bad, ugly, great. Anything else you want me to talk about, I'll be glad to produce videos. So anyway, until we meet around the campfire, y'all take care now. Bye-bye.